it's Mona here at Craft Klatch. Today we're going to take a wood star and we are going to do a 4th of July decoration in the form of an acrylic pour. Now I've never done an acrylic pour before, so I'm really excited about this and I hope it works out and maybe we can learn a little bit together. So I have this star. It's pretty sizable. I cut it out of a piece of 1/2 inch plywood. So I'm just going to prime my star front and back, just let it dry, and then we're going to come back and do a fun acrylic pour. While the star is drying, we are going to prep our paint, and I just bought inexpensive red, white, and blue acrylic paint from the craft store, and I'm going to just pour all of it right on in here. How much you need is going to depend on the size of your star. Now I have the pouring medium that I'm going to add to each of the paints. The more you add, the thinner it'll get. Then you want to stir them. And if you think it's not thin enough, you can always add a little bit more. So you want it to have a little bit of flow. Now, you should let it sit and have the air bubbles come up to the top. Now, some people will just pour it and then they'll pop their bubbles with a torch. Acrylic paint wasn't necessarily designed to have heat added to it. So unless you know what ingredients are in your acrylic paint, it's probably best not to heat it. So I'm going to just let them sit for a while, and I'm actually going to take some plastic wrap, because this stuff might be sitting here for a good 6 to 8 hours before I come back to pour it. So I'm just going to put some plastic wrap on it, and a rubber band, so it won't dry out, and then bubbles will have plenty of time to rise to the surface. Okay, so we'll just leave them here, and then when I get back, we will pour our star. Alright, this is going to drip and it's going to get messy, so just expect that. I have my colors. I'm going to take the covers off, and now all we're going to do is start to pour. Now I'm just going to let this sit and do its thing. The only thing that I'm going to get involved in is I'm going to take a brush and stuff that is dripping down the sides here or off of it, I'm going to scoop onto the edges, because all of the edges are not necessarily going to get covered by the paint. So we want to make sure we don't have any just white edges. So I'll dab it here and there, and that's going to have a definite different mix to it than what's on top, which is cool. And then you just want to let it dry. If you want to move it around, you can. On this one, I really just don't want to, because I think it looks pretty cool. And it's going to kind of spread and take on a life of its own yet anyway. So the star has dried, and here it is. I think it looks really cool, except I had one problem. The plywood, I must not have sealed it well enough with the gesso, and maybe I should have done a spray paint primer on it first to really seal it. And there was a crack right along here, which didn't bother me at all, because I kind of like when certain things kind of shine through. But what happened was, when you put the acrylic paint, which is water-based, on here, it's going to kind of make the wood damp. And because I didn't have it sealed perfectly, it must have gotten in, and a layer of the plywood buckled right here. So if I hadn't had that split here, maybe that wouldn't have happened, and if I had primed it with the spray paint, that might not have happened either. Now I can always put paint in there and not see it, and there's a lump on the top here. Trying to get a good angle here. There's a lump on here, which actually doesn't bother me that much. I'm not sure that you'd really even notice it, But it happened. That's what happened, and it doesn't, you know, there's no give to it or anything. It's not that the paint bubbled. It was actually the wood separated, and maybe they didn't have enough glue on it when they put the plywood together. Maybe it was just a flawed piece. I don't know. So all in all, if it hadn't buckled, I think this would be a success. With the buckle, you know, live and learn, I guess. And so make sure you really seal it well and try to look for the most flawless piece of plywood that you can find. But other than that, I think it was pretty neat. And we're going to do some more experimenting with acrylic pours as well. And I still think this is really great to have up for the 4th of July. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like the acrylic star despite its flaw. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any thoughts on what went wrong, please leave it there too so we can all learn from it. If you happen to be new here and you haven't yet, remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. I will definitely see you next time. Thank you guys so much for being here, and remember to share if you like the video. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe. Bye guys.